third day of Purim, which only happens very rarely. Apparently, it's not going to happen for another 22 years, approximately.
Wow.
Yeah.
What are you pouring?
What are you pouring on Purim? Good.
Gemara.
Anyways, we're going to the Gemara today, and we're going to start learning some spooky stuff, because if you think last week was spooky, wait till it tells you what to do and what not to do today. You ready? But I want you guys to follow in the Gemara. What are you coloring on over there, Yosef? You're writing notes by drawing people's faces? Huh? Good. Hayman de Mipni. Agirdo de Diklo. Somebody that takes a poop on the stump of a cut palm tree. Remember, you got to watch out for these palm trees. Yeah. Apparently, the demons, they like palm trees. They hang out with the palm trees. Huh? Maybe they're in Florida because there's a lot of palm trees. Okay, so if somebody takes a dump on a palm tree that was cut, ruach palga, he will be possessed by a spirit of muteness, which means he won't speak. Yeah, that's what it says.
That's actually pretty good.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, he might be like very quiet. He might become a quiet person because he did his things on the stump of a cut palm tree. V'hayman de matzli reisha agirdo de diklo. Somebody who rests his head on a cut palm tree. If you rest your head on, if a person rests their head on a cut decal, ochadole ruach tzerodo, he will be possessed by a painful half-headed headache. Yeah, he will have a headache that traumatizes only half of his head. I mean, I get some of those headaches sometimes. You know, like one side is really painful, the other side is not.
Wait, so
maybe that's because I rested my head on a cut palm tree. Although I don't think that's true because I don't hang out with palm trees.
The part that's still on the ground, or the tree that's been cut down?
It's a good question.
Not connected anymore. Or just any part of any cut palm.
It says on a cut palm tree. Yeah. Not necessarily the stump. Yeah. Yeah. Be careful about these palm trees, man.
Decoline, man, you gotta watch out.
Hayman de Fossi Adikla. Somebody who steps over or jumps over a palm tree. Miktal, if the palm tree is cut, kotil, he will be cut. In other words, he's going to die. Wow. He's going to get killed. The akar, if this palm tree was uprooted from the ground, right? Which means that it wasn't cut, but somebody kind of like pulled it out of the ground.
That's important.
Depends how big it is. Maybe if it's a smaller one. Mi akaromois. This person will also be uprooted and he too will die.
Whoa.
So basically, if you jump over a palm tree, make sure that palm tree stays in place, because if that palm tree gets cut or if it gets pulled out of the ground, forget about it. Dead. That's what it says. Guy's dead.
In the context of if you're under a witchcraft or demonic attack.
It does not say that over here.
It doesn't say that over here.
It did not say whether this is an attack from witchcraft or whether this is attack from demons. It is an attack.
It's an attack.
And it says it factually. That's what I'm to be true unto what the Talmud says. That's what it says. Right? Do not try this.
Does that apply for this generation?
What?
Does that apply for this generation?
I wouldn't try it if I were you.
Because I don't think demons rest on the palm trees nowadays.
How do you know? You ever asked the demons?
Because
2 weeks ago, we had a conversation with Yosef Shida,
Is that?
the demon Joseph.
Yeah,
All right, and he gave information to some of the Jewish scholars, and they put it in the Talmud. Okay, now if you meet Yosef Shida, maybe ask him where the demons hang out today. I have no idea. I never had a conversation with a demon yet. I'm not sure if I want to have one.
Bro, I think we should try it out.
You want to have a
Yeah,
conversation
Ouija
with a
board.
demon?
We have to play Ouija board.
You have. He has. Shalom Yosef, right? Shalom Yosef, he had conversations with
I think
demons.
we should do Ouija board.
Ouija board?
Yeah.
Why you want to do Ouija boards?
No, we can go to the spirits and see what they say.
Why you want to speak to the spirits? What did you lose?
Oh my gosh, that was Zugos.
Huh?
I had 2 separate occasions where I had weird interaction with demons.
How do you know they were demons?
Um,
Just because they were supernatural realities doesn't mean they were demons. Demon is a very particular type of supernatural reality.
It could have been something else, but I do remember this person's eyes changed into eyes that weren't quite human.
What does that mean?
Like her
They were
eyes,
looking at you, and then all of a sudden their
Her
eyes
eyes
started
were-
shooting fire.
No, like her eyes were normal, and then her eyes turned to like this yellow reptile-looking eye, and then it turned back to normal.
It sounds like a Hollywood movie.
I mean, it sounds like it. But it was,
Oh no, you met one
It
of
was
the
real? This is a real deal?
And it, I mean, during the time she was trying to convince me to partake in some kind of weird ritual,
Right.
which I did not take part in.
what?
But maybe she was possessed at that moment. Maybe it wasn't that she was a demon. Maybe that she was possessed for a moment by some evil spirit.
Is that possible, Rabbi?
Also could have been a Moloch. Could have
See?
been a Moloch.
You never thought, today, in today's day and age, a lot of people, they have some crazy spiritual experience. And the first thing they do, it's demons. Blah, 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 blah.
Could be an angel.
They didn't bother learning the Talmud. The Talmud said, no, maybe it's not a demon. Maybe it's an angel. Maybe it's a ghost. Maybe it's a Martian. There's a lot of options out there. Don't oversimplify. Why are you watching movies on your phone while we're in the middle of class over here? Huh?
Is it possible that I believe
What's
it
that?
could either be in-
Okay, let me just tell you, when you learn the Talmud, you'll learn that even if you have a crazy experience, it doesn't mean you can just put your finger on it. You could, you had some crazy experience. This is the experience. Now you got to figure out what was it. All right? Just don't mess with palm trees. After reading this Talmud, I'm going to stay the heck away from palm trees, man.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Something about him.
Yeah.
It's like,
Honey mili, deloy manach kari eloy. Oh. We said that if a person jumps over a cut palm tree, they get cut. They're going to get dead.
Get that.
They're going to get deaded. Right? However, the Talmud says this is only going to apply if you did not put your foot on the palm tree. I believe manach kari eloy, if you put the foot on the palm tree, leis lonbo, you don't have to worry. Again, we said if you're jumping over the palm tree, if there's a palm tree on the floor and you're jumping over the palm tree, right? Better watch out, because if that palm tree gets cut, you're going to get cut. If that palm tree gets ripped out of the ground, you're going to get ripped out. Right? But if instead of jumping it over, you put your foot on it, even if you jump, as you jump, and you kind of like lean your foot on it just for a second to kind of get you over, you don't have to worry anymore. Then you're good to go. Not going to attack you.
Because by the ocean, they kind of do grow, like,
Yeah.
they'll come out of the ground, they'll go kind of sideways and then up.
Yeah.
So there's a part you could step over, like step onto.
Don't do it.
If you're going to, just make sure you step on it, no?
Just, if you're going to go, don't jump over it. You can kind of like step over it, but make sure to put your foot on the tree. If you put your foot on the tree, you have no problem according to this Talmud. But if you jump over completely, that's it. Dead.
Over like this.
Huh? No. That's for zugos. No, you see, don't compare. You don't know how these things work. Don't compare one thing to the next. The zugos and the jumping over the trees could be two completely different things. Right? Unless, of course, it says that they have that they're similar, but over here it doesn't say that they are. All right? We're going on to another list. By the way, this entire week We're going to be listing spooky stuff. That's it. We're going to be listing one thing after the next where the Talmud says that these things could harm you, in what ways they can harm you, and in what ways you can possibly protect yourself from being damaged by these demonic, spooky spirits, from attacking, from possessing you, and from harming, God forbid, etc. All right? Chamisha tulei have. There are 5 different types of shadows that evil spirits hang out in. These 5 types of shadows. Now listen carefully. Number 1, Tulu the Dikta Yechida. The shadow of a single palm tree.
Sorry, Tula is shadow.
Tula is a shadow, yes. That's Tula.
Cell is shadow.
Sail is Hebrew. Tula is Aramaic. Okay? Tula. So we have Tula the Dikla Yechidah. Tula Chanda. Tula the Farcha. You have one type of shade that's called Chanda and another one that's called Farcha. Right? These are different types of trees. Kanda, it does not bother translating, and Forcha is Slav. Slav, I'm not sure exactly what that is in English, but it's a certain type of tree. Okay? And the last one is Tula disradito. Is another type of tree. There are shades of these different types. So we have Dikla Yechida, Tula Chanda, Tula the Farcha, Tula Disrada. So you really only have 4 there. So where's the 5th one? We only have 4. Ika di Amri, there are those who add to these, and they say also, Dika di Amri, At Tula de Arba, also the shadow of a ship. Yes, of a ship that's going in the ocean.
Like the mast.
Yes. So if you have a ship, you're by the shore or by the what do you call the port? You're by a port city, and the ship is casting a shadow. Stay the heck away from that shadow, because according to some opinions, this is where demons hang out. Yeah. Vitula daravta. Some people say also the shadow of a willow tree, right? Shadow of a willow tree also is a place where they say demons hang out. Yeah. Kolola de Milsa. So the Talmud gives a general rule how to know where demons hang out. Kol de Nofish Infe. Any tree that has a tremendous amount of branches. Koshe Tule. It is dangerous to hang out in its shadows.
Wow.
Yeah. But a willow tree has that many branches? I guess it does. It has a lot of little branches. Instead of a few big branches, it has a lot of little branches, if I'm not mistaken, no? Yeah? I guess that might be what it's trying to say. If it has a lot of little branches, stay away from him. Stay away from the tree. Yeah? Yeah. Let's continue. V'chol de koshi silve, any tree whose wood is very hard, meaning a very, very tough. You know, some trees have harder wood than others. Some trees, they say, this is a very strong tree, right? What is mahogany, oak,
Teak.
huh?
Teak wood.
Teak wood is very hard. So it says anyone that it's
Sandalwood.
very hard.
Rosewood.
Kasha tule, its shadows are also dangerous.
Any wood that's hard? hardwood trees.
Anything that has a very hard wood.
Yeah, so olive trees would definitely be
Yeah?
part of that. Maple.
This guy ain't hanging out in any shadow ever.
He was a
He's
carpenter.
Like,
He was a carpenter before.
oh, wow. Anyways.
I used to clean carpets.
Levar mikru mosha. Except for a tree called krumosha. Another word that I'm not sure what it is, it says this is an exception to the rule. What's so funny?
He honestly thought he said I was a carpenter, and I said I don't work with carpets. All right, let's keep going.
I don't understand how would we hang out in olive trees? Olive trees are holy trees.
So, on the contrary, if they're holy, that might mean that the demons might want to, the demons like sucking out the holiness, right? And therefore, the more holiness, the more it wants to suck out the juice of holiness that exists in that place.
Also, if it's a fruit tree, there's a powerful, potentially Shindala that lives there. That if you damage the tree, it's gonna come after you.
Yeah, really?
Different part of the Gemara.
Yeah, really?
Remember that was from like 6 months ago. Or
We learned about that as well.
Yeah, if you damage a fruit tree,
Damage a fruit tree.
if you damage a fruit-bearing tree, you better watch out.
Better watch out. Yeah.
True, man.
The afal gav the koshe silve loy koshe tule. The amra loy shida livra. The reason why this last tree called krumosha, I don't know what is today's trees. You can look it up maybe in the art scroll. But krumosha is not going to damage. You know why? Because there is a demon that hangs out in that tree. However, the amra loy shida livra, because the demon says to his child, Pirchi nafshach, run away mikrumasha from this krumasha tree. The ihu the ktil avuch, because it is the one that killed your father, ukatil day, and will kill you too.
Can demons die?
Apparently.
So who's the father of the demon here?
I don't know. It's very interesting because the father of the demon is telling him that he killed your father, which means he killed him. What does that mean? Huh?
There's something interesting going on
Maybe
there.
there must be multiple fathers to this demon.
The Nemuke Shizvi, he says that tree smells horrible, and the stench killed the demon that lives there. Huh? I don't know. It says to moisten. What's to moisten? Anybody has a? Let's put this in. I'm gonna do it. Translate. Let's see if we can find out what this tree is. This is a weird, interesting tree.
Should I go find a Gemara that has English?
Hold on. Tur moisin. Thermosin. It's actually called thermosin. Is there a tree called thermosin? Thermosin. Let's try it. Thermosin tree. See that?
Thermosin. It's a tree commonly used by indigenous tribes.
Yeah, no, really. We're then. You know what? Let's go to our friend.
ChatGPT.
The Google Rebbe?
Let's go to the Google Rebbe. No, I'm going to actually ask Gemini. Here, general question.
What's a thermosin tree?
What is a thermosin tree in English? Let's see what it says. ChatGPT. Oh, it's having trouble finding it. There is no information about Turmoisin tree in English mentioned by Talmudic commentaries. Let's see what it says now. No, not asked. Not doesn't. Nah. Yeah, not AI doesn't know everything. Yeah, it doesn't know everything. Makes mistakes. Yeah. Good. Where are we? Apparently, this tree smells so badly that it killed the demon that lives in it. Yeah. Amar Ravashi says, Chasina l'Rav Kahana defarish mikul hutuli. He says that he sees that Rav Kahana, a great sage, he would try his best not to go in any shade. Of any shade. He just doesn't hang out in the shade.
Wow.
He was
Rav Kahana.
yeah.
Now
The question is, when we say shade, are we talking about shade like in the day, like in the sun? What was he walking around in the sun the whole day? Like,
it sounds like we're only really discussing shade having to do with trees.
yeah, it could be.
I mean, because technically the roof is always making shade
Right.
for us, but that's not really in consideration in any of the conversation ever about a roof.
Don't hang out in the shade of a tree.
And the mast of a ship is somewhat consistent because the big masts back in the day would be made from large trees, right? The big center mast pole would be made from a large tree.
Yeah.
So there's a connection, but
I don't know. This is interesting stuff. Huh? Maybe trees. They hang out in trees. That's what they do.
let's keep going.
Huh?
Let's do it.
In India, there is a tradition that if you have a metal piece in your hand,
If you have a what?
a metal piece,
Metal piece.
the spirits won't come to you.
Yeah.
I don't know
What do they know? These Indians, they run around. They don't know. They don't. They have their own shtick, right? You know, if a cow walks in the street, everybody stops. Cow sits down. And it's rush hour. Everybody stops. Right? Am I right? Cow sits down in the street. That's it. The whole city closes down. No one could drive by. Huh?
I've seen a cow walking into a restaurant,
Serious?
and the restaurant owner goes to the chef, bring the food, and this guy hands him over a food, and he gives to the cow, and he does this to the literally a big massive cow.
That's actually awesome. I like that.
Goes walk right into this vegetarian restaurant.
And he got plates and food brought to him.
Yeah.
But they worship this cow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was so nice to the cows.
Anyways, yes, in Indian superstition, I don't know. Maybe some of it has a basis, but most of it, I'm sure, is just in English they have a word for it, right? The excrement of male cows.
Don't bullshit. Come on, man. We're talking about you, man. Your cowboy hat.
Yeah. Anyways, it's very interesting when you. I mean, how do you deal, Yosef Yitzchak? How do you deal with these Talmudic concepts that seem to be like these? They seem to be like what's going on here? Like David says, what do you mean? Are there demons today? Aren't there?
Definitely.
I'll actually be honest with you. I think that there's coded Kabbalistic teachings within some of these things.
Yeah.
And it sounds like they're really telling you things that, sound funny. Although they might have some
It's encrypted.
accuracy. They might have some accuracy to it, because I don't think they just threw in something that's a lie. There might be some accuracy to the fact that demons hang out in shades, in the shade of trees, right? As a matter of fact, I can tell you that I was once traveling in a dangerous area in Israel, and I was walking through an alley, and all of a sudden I like freaked because it was actually in Hebron. It's interesting you said that. I didn't want to say where, but it was in Hebron, and I'm walking through this alley, and all of a sudden I flipped, like there's this guy with this gun, like you could not see him till you're like literally like a few feet away. And it's an Israeli soldier. And I said, what are you doing here? So he said that, at night, they specifically, in order to hide themselves, they hang out in the shade.
The soldiers or the
Soldiers.
Arabs?
The soldiers. No, the soldiers, because let's just say a terrorist attacks, they don't know where the soldiers are, because it's hard to see them. And I'm telling you, it was flipping difficult to see that guy until I was maybe 5 feet away. That dark clothes, right? In the shade, in a night, in the middle of the night. Very hard to see. Very hard to see. And this guy was sitting there with I don't know what he had, but it could have killed me for sure if he wanted to.
You look pretty Jewish.
I used to have like this white patch on my vest.
Yeah.
The picture was like a skull. But if you went out to do a mission at night, I would take it off because like anything can see you. You want it so that.
What do you mean a skull?
Yeah, the Punishers.
Yeah, it was like
You were in the army?
Yeah.
What did you do?
So I was in combat, and then I switched to.
Which unit? Givati. You had a purple hat.
You had a purple hat?
Purple hat. I know. Different. Every unit has their own hat color.
Purple's the highest.
Purple.
It's the highest
It's a
vibration.
vibe. Huh? Givati is another group like that. Put it this way: in Israel, they started basically. They had the Golani and the Tzanchani, and I think they had Nachal as well. They have like three basic like army attack units, right? And then as the army grew, so they added new regiments with different names. So they added Givati. You have Kfir. You have a few other. They're basically infantry units, I believe. Yeah. Huh? Yeah, but that doesn't really play true anymore, because today they.
But like for the most part, Givati is trained in
Negev.
Yes, they're trained for like desert conditions, love urban warfare.
Oh, Golani's mountains.
You were in any serious? You were in some serious combat or no? No.
Training.
No, they didn't like no riots. No, they didn't get in any.
No, I've done like riot control, but no like crazy stuff.
No, throw rocks at you.
Oh yeah, no, we've had people for that.
Yeah, shoot at you. No one shot at you.
Yeah.
Somebody did shoot at you.
Oh no, not shooting. They threw rocks.
No.
Like Molotov cocktails.
And as soon as they shoot rocks, you open up machine gun fire, right? So they say on the news.
Nah.
No, you're not allowed to do that. How come they say on the news that's what the Israelis do?
I mean, it might have been permissible, but the people throwing rocks at us were like young teenagers.
Right.
So
you just don't want to kill them all, no?
Yeah, I feel like it.
Huh?
We shot some rubber bullets at them.
Rubber bullets. All right. Rubber
Big,
bullets. Huh? They hurt, I'm assuming. Yeah. All right, but you don't shoot them dead. No. See, in the CNN, they say they shoot them dead. They said they throw a rock, you shoot them dead.
CNN, they show a picture of a dead Palestinian kid.
Yeah.
And then you see, like he's laying underneath the sheet, because he's dead.
Yeah, and then he gets up.
Scratching his nose, so the kid's not really dead. He's playing
Right.
around.
Yeah.
Like,
Anyways.
Hollywood.
Okay, let's continue. We have a lot of Gemara to finish this week. And by the way, in about an hour, we're going to start getting ready for a bris. That's going to have a serious bris here, 1:30. And
what comment was that?
Marsho. All right. Bei Pirche. The house of the tzlaf. What's tzlaf? What's a tzlaf in English? Huh?
To sleep.
No, tzlaf is a kind of tree.
Sloth.
Ruchei Shmam. He says now we're going to tell you the names of the demons. The demons that hang out in a tzlaf. What is a tzlaf? Let's go back to our friends over here. Here, hold on a second.
Wow.
Gemini. Let's go to Gemini.
There's two categories of sloths. There's two-toed and three-toed.
What is a sloth? Right.
Oh, you know
Stop
what we
it.
can do? I'm going to ask Grok with deep search
No
to
thanks.
tell us about all the species of the trees and this
No thanks.
Gemara Daft.
No thanks.
What is a
It's messed up, dude.
sloth tree in English? Oh, sloth. Let's find out. Da-da-da-da-da.
Daft.
The Hebrew word sloth refers to a caper plant. What is? I don't even know what that is. What is a caper plant?
Oh, never heard of capers?
It mostly common refers to the Caparis spinosa plant. I don't know what that is.
Capers in their lox and cream cheese.
Huh?
You have like a bagel with lox and cream cheese. A lot of times people put capers in it. They're like these little green bowls.
So what is that? Let's see. How is it spelled? Caper plant. So let's see. What is a caper plant? Let's go and Google images. Caper plant. Oh,
I'm sending Grok to do deep search.
images. There we go. Wow, this doesn't even look like a tree. This looks like a plant. Caper bush, it's called. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, that looks like a passion flower.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
But let me tell you something. These aren't little harmless plants because there's demons that hang out in them.
Whoa.
And it says that the
Whoa.
demons that hang out in the caper, they're called ruche. Ruche. They're called ruche, which are kind of like spirits. The beis rado be'etz izrodin shida. The ones that are in a tree called izrodin. Let's put that in too, because I have no clue what that is either. Izrodin. Where are we? Bezrat Hashem. What about Izrodin? Let's see. Where is it? I did spell it right. Izrodin. Izrodin. Let's see. Hawthorn. What is that? I don't even know what that is. It's a common single name for plants in the genus Crataegus. Hawthorn is what is the hawthorn? I don't know what these things are, man.
I have Grok working on it here.
What is a hawthorn plant? All right, let's see. Once again, we got pictures of, oh, look. It's like, this is actually like a tree. Look at that. See? It's like a tree.
Ooh.
From the Google Rebbe.
From the Google Rebbe.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so this tree, the demons that hang out in this tree are actually called demons. The other ones are called spirits. The ones that hangs out in the other tree. This one is called demons. The Bei Igore, the ones that hang out on roofs, okay? You ever go on a roof and find the demon over there?
Yes.
He did. All right? A Rishpe, they're called Rishpes, like a fireys. Yeah?
Oh.
Now the Gemara asks an interesting question. It says, Lamai nafkamina, what's the difference? Why is there a difference? Why do we need to know what the name of these things are? What's the difference? So it says as follows,
Their purpose.
likameo, to write an amulet. So we don't really have this these days so much. But in the olden days, very often they would have a guy that would write these amulets to ward off demons. And one of the ways, if you write an amulet and it's accurate, it might get rid of the demons. But if you write the wrong name, right? For example, if you write on the amulet, let's ward off demons, but the spirits will still be there. Or let's get rid of the spirits, the rishpei will still be there. So you have to make sure to write it properly. Because if you don't write the amulet properly with using the proper terminology, not that it could be bad, but it's just not going to get rid of this.
How come we're not writing?
And by the way, I'm just telling you, stick along, because we're going to go into this Talmud. We're going to speak about writing amulets.
Nice. I want to make.
And what happens if the amulet was not written with an accurate terminology? Yeah.
Shlomo Melech has like a ring.
Oh yeah.
That he used to like fight off demons or something like
No, he tried to
Used
pick
to
the.
enslave.
There's a midrash in Masachet Gittin. Ashvadai.
Yeah.
He tried. He
Don't say it
tricked.
too loud.
He's trying to like.
So the sages gave him a ring, and that ring
Yeah.
became like what is on a seal of Solomon. He wore that ring.
There were various different ways of warding off demons that they had. As a matter of fact, one of the ways that King Solomon actually trapped the king of the demons, he actually made a rope with God's name all spelled, well, like a kind of a string, but it was God's name was spelled throughout the whole thing, and he tied up the demon. And then when the demon was sleeping, it was a whole thing that he fed the demon wine. The demon thought they was drinking water, apparently, and the demon fell asleep. They tied up the demon, and when the demon woke up, Solomon's guard says, "Before you do anything, I want to warn you that God's name is all over those ropes, and if you break the ropes, you're breaking God's name. You're not going to like that, right?" And the demon's like, "Uh-oh, I can't break God's name," so that's how he trapped him. Yeah. Huh?
It came back to. We forget about the part.
I think Rabbi, we should study that type of Gemara.
It came back to bite him because at the end,
Shlomo.
eventually, I
Ashmedai got
forget
back.
how. I forget how, but Ashmedai basically got released from this rope somehow,
Yeah.
and he gave a good kick to King Solomon, and it says he flew like 45 miles away, and he was lost till he got back. It was not easy.
Which Gemara is this, Rabbi?
There's a lot of different Gemaras that speak about demons. This guy wants only the Gemara speaking about demons.
Yeah,
like
it's
all the
fun.
rest of them, forget about it.
Fun.
Fun,
But he captured Ashmedai to try to find out where the worm was.
Shamir.
Shamir
right?
worm,
He
yeah.
was trying to get
There's
that-
That's why he trapped.
interrogating
That's why he trapped. That's why he trapped
He
Ashmedai.
was waterboarding a demon.
It was waterboarding the demon.
Cool.
Anyways, should we continue or let's go?
Yeah,
Let's go on to one more. Let's go on to one more thing, and then we're gonna. Wow, we didn't know we did a lot
It
already
looks like
today.
Magen David, no?
Seals of Shlomo.
Oh, it looks like Magen David.
That's the basic seal of Solomon. Yeah.
Where? Let me see.
Seals of Shlomo.
Our expert here. Expert
Huh?
panel.
Where did they get this from?
The Google Ariel.
Google it, Rabbi.
It could
Seals
be,
of Solomon are symbols created by King Solomon. I don't know. Who says these are things?
David Cohen.
Huh?
David Cohen.
No. The seals of Solomon. They're probably like sea lions, kind of. No?
They look funny, but doesn't necessarily mean that they're accurate. All right, weitergegangen. Okay, shall we read the next one or no?
Yes.
I thought I heard Avi for a second.
Debei Pirchei
Where's Avi?
Bria she'ein lo einayim. There is the demon of the Beit Pirchei, which what do we say was tzlaf, which was the caper tree. The caper tree, its demon is actually doesn't have eyes. So the Gemara asks, "Well, my nafkamina, why are you telling me this?" So it says ligazuzi law, to run away from it. So if you were not yet caught by this demon, just run, but run in weird directions. Try to run quietly so it doesn't hear you, because it won't be able to see you. Right? You think all demons can see? Apparently, there's some demons that don't. Yeah? Zimno chado hava ochel tsurbo merabonon liifnuye. There was once a young student of the Talmudic sages that went to take a poop. Lebei Pirchei, he went to the caper tree to do this. Shama, he heard when he was there the ka'asa ilove, that this spirit from the caper tree was coming and about to, I'm gonna get you, I'm gonna get you, I'm gonna get you, right? The gazilo, and he ran away. Ki azlo chavke diklo. When the demon from the caper tree ran after him, he ended up wrapping around. He ended up wrapping around. He was blind, so he was running after this student, and he couldn't see, and he smashed into, guess what? A palm tree.
Oh. Did he step on it?
The demon smashed onto the palm tree. The demon, because he couldn't see. And he ended up smashing, and he ended up like hugging the palm tree. Sovak diklo upakahi. The palm tree immediately shriveled up and dried up, and the demon burst. Poof! That's what it says. So again, the student heard this demon coming, ran away. Now this demon couldn't see, so tried to run after him. However, it didn't see, and it ran into the palm tree, and it kind of like grabbed onto the palm tree. The demon thought that he grabbed the student. Really, he grabbed the palm tree, and the palm tree shriveled up and dried up and became like dead, and the demon popped. So basically, the palm tree and the demon got into this fight, and the demon popped, and the palm tree died. Yeah.
Rotten.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Matt D says he's never gonna hang out with a palm tree anymore. Don't blame him, especially if he's following the previous classes. Palm trees are very dangerous trees.
It's Deco Awareness Month.
The last one we're gonna do here. Pircha de Beis Rado. The demons that hang out in the hawthorn tree, they're called shidei. They're actually called demons, unlike the other ones that might be called spirits or whatever it is. Hozrado de smichal masa. If the hawthorn tree is close to a city, loy pachaza mishishin shidei. It has no less than 60 demons if it's close to a city.
Oh man, imagine the palm trees in LA.
Lamai nafkamina. No, it's not a palm tree, it's a hawthorn tree.
Oh, hawthorn. Oh,
Yeah.
It's like
60 demons. Lamai nafkamina. What is the difference? Why do we need to know that there's 60 demons? Lemichtav lo kamea. Because if you need to write a amulet to fend off these demons, you can't just try to fend off one demon. You have to fend off all of these demons. Tomorrow we're going to learn about a story. We're gonna leave it for tomorrow, but tomorrow we're gonna learn a story about an individual who was by a hawthorn tree, and the demons of the tree attacked him, and he ran. He realized he was possessed by these demons, so he ran to a particular person that was very good at writing amulets, and the person wrote an amulet to get rid of the demon of the hawthorn tree. Right? The problem is there was more than one, and yeah. And tomorrow we're going to tell you the full story. You don't have to write 60 amulets, but you have to write an amulet that includes all 60.
So
yeah, because if you write an amulet about one demon, well, if there's 60, then it doesn't do anything.
Are there detailed instructions for making amulets in the Shas? Probably in many different areas, there's instructions for amulets.
There are rules about how amulets should be written or how they shouldn't be written, but they don't clearly tell you how to write them. And apparently, this is something that is relegated to the Kabbalistic class of Jews that have this tradition passed down from generations, exactly how to do these things. There are people that do it till today that write amulets. You write amulets? Huh?
Really? It's an amulet.
Yeah, you've written them before? You studied how to write it? No. What did you say about amulets? You know somebody that writes amulets? No?
His uncle. No?
His uncle, right? His uncle.
Can we have an amulet workshop?
Wait, he's a scribe.
He's a scribe, but who says that amulets?
Maybe he knows how to.
Oh, you know who I bet knows how to make amulets? Is Abaye
Why?
and Tzfat, the artist.
Ah, yeah?
he does the Megillah. He does Megillahs and Torahs, and he does like the pictures of the Rebbe's that are made with letters in them. He's a sofer also.
Could be.
If you need amulets, the good place to start is with a sofer, no?
Well, the sofer has to know what to write. He knows the letters, but does he know what she should actually write? But apparently, if you want to fend off demons, there's certain amulets that you could and should write, and some that you maybe should.
How come then we're not doing it nowadays? Since demons are still around us.
That's why we need amulets.
Yeah, maybe we need them.
We need them, Rabbi.
Yeshua Menachem Mendel, you want to start doing this? Oh, make sure don't go next to a palm tree.
Yeah.
How about we put a palm tree inside the toilet, Rabbi?
Ah.
How about we put a palm tree?
Anyways, that's going to be it for today. Thanks for joining us, and I hope that you read it in the Gemara, even though some of these words are difficult, but you should still try to read it and understand it and make notes, and we'll see you Bezrat Hashem tomorrow. Sei gesund.